It's Clobberin time!
Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
Roger, ready to move out.
Clobberanimo!
Yeah. Welcome, my good friends, to Clobberin Times issue number 461 over, all on YouTube, of course. 1,161 overall. Wild Card Wednesday night, when it gets wild and cardy and Wednesday-y or something. I don't know. I don't know. What can I really appreciated the great Stone Loki and all of you hanging out with me this past Monday night. Sorry I had to cut that one short. And I was a bit out of sorts there for that one. So I wasn't able to, I don't think I had my best work going that night, although we did have a lot of fun talking about this, and you were all fantastic. And I do appreciate you hanging out with me. Let's see. Show note is simple, really. Just tomorrow night, the wonderful First Officer Raquel Briggs will We'll be here along with our great Chief Engineer, Mark D with the C, for Clubhouse, Globby's Clubhouse tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Friday night, I should be hanging out with Nick and the gang over there at the comic shop. And let's see here. It goes without saying, but we'll say it anyway, that join us, please, for Saturday night Star Trek. 4 more episodes reviewing here in third season of Deep Space Nine. So we're having a great time on that show. We really appreciate everyone who hangs out with us on that big, fantastic, and fun show. So good to see you all here with me tonight, my friends. Hang on one second here again. Throat clearing. Don't know why. Been fine all day. Of course, I haven't been talking, so maybe that's what it is. I haven't really actually been talking, so I didn't know that I would have to even worry about that. Well, sorry about that, folks. Let's see who's here with us tonight. We like to do the little shout out. We do shout outs all the time at the beginning of the show. Saturday nights we're doing front and back. We do both the beginning and the end of the show. It looks like the great master of Canadian wrenching, the Vindicated Wrench of the North, the great Chris Persia is here with us tonight. What's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Thanks for all you do. I appreciate you. Oh yeah, sorry. By the way, sorry earlier that we did not have Loki's roundtable. He was our good buddy Loki, who joined me Monday night, as I said, was having some internet issues and some problems, and we just weren't able to make that happen. The N24 and I were not able to do it, but hopefully next week, he's saying. I don't know if I'll even be able to be next week because of other thing going on, but the roundtable will return. Maybe next Wednesday. I just don't know for sure, but we will see. He definitely plans to do it next Wednesday, even if it's without me. So they will do it. Let's see here. Man, oh man. No, but got that cleared up. Also with us, of course, is the great D. Bud Martin, the Wrench of Iron. Hey, man, what's happening? And of course, we good to see you, buddy. As we always shout out the great bronze wrencher, Eric Cato. I can't see the chat right now, mind you. So if I don't know who's here other than those two, I'm about to find out and shout you all out, of course. So I don't know if Eric's in there or not, but he gets a shout out either way because he's such a great friend. Let's see. Brian Hepburn, hello there. Good to see you, my friend. I hope you're doing well. Wagner, what's up, buddy? Lemon Pie, welcome. Good to see you, Lemon Pie. Anybody else? Claude Selling, hey there, Claude. Good to see you. Phantom Outsider, what's up, buddy? Fanty, good to see you. Captain Infinity and beyond. Hey, man. What's up, dude? Master of Time. Just another red shirt. What's up, just another red shirt? Good to see you, man. It's I'm always honored to have you pop in, buddy. I hope you were doing well, my friend. Trevor Cunningham. Hello there, Trevor. Good to see you. Let me see. Classic Comics. What's up, buddy? And so far, anyone else pops in, of course, they'll be shouted out. So far, that's all we have. Big shout out, of course, to anyone who happens to be lurking out there. Not everyone pops into the chat and makes themselves known. So if you are here, if you're lurking or whatever, or if you're watching this later on a download, which is also perfectly fine. Thank you. We value you all. And it's great to see all of you popping here. So, oh boy, this is the week. Tomorrow's the time. I was dreading it. But I am, and I've gone through it a couple of times. Is the reason why I have to go do this, because I know I'm going to get picked on, and I deserve it. Look, I deserve it. I deserve to get picked on because tomorrow I am going to go watch a certain movie. And I do have a pass. I'm not going to get into all the politics of it. We don't do politics on this channel. I have enough politics yesterday. I'm sure you all did. So I'm not going to, even though these are different kinds of politics, I'm not going to get into the politics of it. Suffice it to say, I have to go tomorrow. I'm dreading it even more now for things I've been hearing. But you all know a certain movie is opening tomorrow. Now, I'll talk about it. A bit. I won't do like an advertised review like we have done, a bit recently. I'm just not going to. I think Love and Blunder was the last straw. That was the one. I think a bunch of us got together, if I remember correctly, and reviewed it here on my show. And we got the gang, the usual gang together, and we reviewed it back when that came out back then. What was it, June? I don't know. Something like that, I guess. That's the last MCU movie I'm going to make any kind of. I mean, in other words, if I watch them, it's one thing, and if I talk about them, it's one thing. They'll ever make a show to talk about it for ever again. We did it. I've done it for a while. Every time one comes out, I've always done a show about reviewing it for better or worse. I just won't do it anymore. Like I said, I'll talk about it. I'll say what I think. I'll maybe go on some friends' shows if they want to do it. Like I don't know what I got planned this weekend, so I can't commit to anything until I know what's going on. But I have a couple of friends that, some good pals out there who want to do it. Maybe Saturday or Sunday. and I'm just not sure. I don't know if J-Man, like I said, J-Man, I hope if you're out there, but I hope you're feeling well. I'll be glad to go do it if I'm able to and I can get away and the time's right, I'll talk about it on someone else's channel. It's not about, let's see, what's it? Christopher says, what, you're going to release the most favorite FF4 characters emoji here? Herbie the robot? Well, I don't know how to make the emojis. Raquel makes those. Let's see, saying, so you won't watch the not Wonder Man series next year? I don't think I'll watch that. I don't know. It's not about watch. I'll look. I've often said, I've said it, said fairly often that I'll sit through any old crap. I mean, sitting through something and watching it, going out of my way to watch it, that's kind of a different story. I'm doing this tomorrow because of a very dear friend of mine. We've gone to see the Marvel movies together since 2010, really. We've been going to see them all together. And we can make a day of it, you know. Again, I've gone into the story why I do it. But anyway, so watching it's one thing. But before, as with up until this last garbage Thor movie, I've been doing a review. In other words, we have a big special. I did some special, like a special Friday review a couple of times. I think if I remember what night it was. Not anymore. It's one thing to talk about it on the show. Never will I again say tonight we'll be like here on Clobberin Times. We'll be reviewing the latest MCU movie. That's never going to happen again. I'll talk about it and I'll go anyone else on their channel, but I have no interest in doing it here. I'm doing a show for it, going to all that trouble. Screw them. I mean, not that they care. Why would they care? Nor should they. Nor should they. Just saying. I've had it. I really don't want to see this thing. But hey, I'll get some sleep maybe. Might catch a nap in that comfortable theater seat. And I get to hang out with my buddy. We live on completely opposite sides of town, so we don't get to hang out that much. Usually it's one of these movies that gets us together. We go sit and hang out at Twin Peaks. Yeah. And, hang out and visit a little bit. Stunt Brat 77 Smith. Hello there, love. It is wonderful to see you. I hope you are doing well, my dear. Great to see you. So we'll make a day of it tomorrow. We'll go sit at the restaurant and hang out for a little while and catch up because we hadn't hung out since the last dumb movie. We'll go sit through that stupid movie. JT Kurt, what's up, buddy? And I'll talk about it tomorrow night on the Clubhouse a little bit, but I won't do any kind of advertised review of it. That's not my Submariner. That's not going to be. Look, they're not even going to call him Subby. They're not going to even call Subby Submariner, which is good. He's not anymore. He's nothing. They're not going to call him. They're going to say Namor and all this crap, and they're not going to call him the Submariner probably. And I already know a few things about it. It's going to be painful. And after that, look, man, I don't know. I don't even know what. You know what? I'm so out of the loop now. I don't even know what the next theatrical of theirs is. What is it? Oh, it's Quantum Mania, probably. Probably Ant-Man Quantum Mania. Wow. BP shoot might have your BP shoot up. Clobberin Times just seeing that name or blood pressure. Yeah, ticked me. Yeah, it pissed me off, Phantom. You're right, but I'm not gonna get too. Trevor Cunningham says, good or bad movie. It's best hanging out with friends you see it with. Trevor, that's the way I look at it. Because, misery loves company, for one thing, if it sucks. Yes, Quantum Mania, Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I guess I'll go watch them. You know what? Even if those aren't particularly good, those are probably going to be better than this. I would rather... I don't think they're probably going to be all that good. Guardians of the Galaxy at least is by James Gunn still. So if you like those Guardians movies, I know they're not very faithful to comics either, but they're okay. I mean, I like them enough, and that could be good. Quantum Mania, oh no, but I can already tell that Ant-Man Quantum Mania, even if it's not very good, which it probably will not be, it's going to be better than Wakanda Forever. And like you said, Wagner, it's a 2-hour 40 runtime, for God's sake. JT Kirk says, thanks for having a show tonight. Yeah, lots of election. Yeah, I'm a little bummed out as well, JT Kirk, but also angry because of certain things that, some self-destruction things that a certain party has done. I was not actually as surprised as some people. Keely Chow, Roll Tide. What's up, buddy? Good to see you. So we'll just, usually all I have to fall back on is my geek stuff, buddy. And yes, I look. I guess I kind of wanted to see if Hungry Boy would show up because we got a little sad comic book news. For any, again, I hate to be a downer again, JT, but it won't take that long. But Clobberin Times is all about not only Star Trek and Doctor Who and all stuff. You also know how I'm big on comics and comics professionals and different things like that. And we lost two fairly well-known, established comic book artists in the past 2 days. I don't know if you guys have heard about this. But Kevin O'Neill, longtime artist from 2000 AD and other things, of course, well known for probably best known for his work with Alan Moore in League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. He did a comic I love for 2000 AD called Nemesis. He did Martial Law, which was brutal. A very interesting, different kind of an artist. Maybe when everyone's taste. I like a lot of his stuff. We'll take a look at a bit of it here. But we lost two just over the past 2 days. Well, let's see, where are you? But like I said, I thought Kevin O'Neill was pretty good. Very interesting style. I don't know how many of you are familiar with Kevin O'Neill. Trevor, Trevor, I loved Martial Law. Was a sick comic, but I loved it anyway. Yeah. Let me saw. They got a bunch of different names to see. Let me refine the search a bit. Yeah, there's a little bit more of an example of his work. He's done some great stuff. Martial Law was brutal, but I liked it. Oh man, it's just not for the weak, not for the faint of heart. Trevor says, pulled out my Martial Law comic again. Yeah, of course. And like I said, he's probably best known for his later stuff with Alan Moore on League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. The comic. I'll tell you one of the ones I love the most. There's a picture of it right here. I think I just saw a picture. Yeah, Nemesis the Warlock. That's the Titan album for 2000 AD comics. Anyone remember that one? Did anybody else read Nemesis? I love that comic. I love that one. I have this Titan album right here. Anybody remember his work on that? I don't know if any of you remember him. Of course, there, again, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. He worked on a lot of stuff. He worked on some Green Lantern backups with Alan Moore. Definitely an off-the-wall kind of an artist. Quite prolific. Some crazy work. Martial Law. Yeah, D-Bud, a lot of people didn't buy Martial Law. It wasn't to everyone's taste. And I remember back when it was coming out, and a buddy of mine, we both really loved it. But we also told people, look, I'm not recommending it. This is a sick comic. It's really messed up. And, Pat Mills, who wrote it, was a sicko. But it was fun. It shouldn't have been. It's a comic that theoretically I should have hated, but it was good. Oh man, it was great. It was crazy. Interesting artist, though. Yeah, JT. Martial law just hurts my brain because it's not martial law. No, yeah, it's not. Hey, JD Lewis, what's up, man? Good to see you there, buddy. We're talking about the passing of two different well-known comic artists. First one I'm talking about here is, again, Kevin O'Neill. 2000 AD, ABC, DC, a lot of stuff. I mean, yeah, all over the place. Long career. So it's a damn shame. Did a lot of really good stuff for 2000 AD, man. Remember Metalzoic? Wow. Some of that obscure stuff. Man, I love these old 2080 mags, though. Yeah. Damn shame. So, he was very well respected. Just a very long career, still doing stuff too. Because a lot of the older guys, or the old school guys, I should say, not so much older, because he wasn't really that old. Wow, I didn't know about that. Forbidden Planet co-founder. I assume you mean the as in Forbidden Planet, the comic shop in the UK. Is that what you're referring to, JD Lewis? I did not hear about that. Excuse me. I didn't hear about that. And we'll go back to Kevin later, perhaps. But also, there was another passing. Carlos Pacheco. I'm sure you're all familiar with his work. You're probably a little more familiar with him because he did a lot of mainstream stuff. And that one I just heard about today. That's new. I mean, that was just released. So don't know if any of you've even heard about that one yet. Yeah. Interesting artist as well. Did a lot. I mean, I guess he was around. I think he was at least not similar age. He was 60, I think. So that's just in 2 days, two well-known, comic book artists. Again, they're guys whose work I respected and liked for sure. Liked it, but they weren't not amongst my favorites or anything like that. But guys I respected that did a lot of great work. I mean. Excellent artist. Very well, very well respected, very well liked. Ironhide 84, good to see you. Stephen M, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Yeah, he was a good artist, though. Yeah, Excalibur, Avengers Forever. I mean, he was all over the place. He was quite prolific. Was Carlos Pacheco, Kurt Busiek. I saw Kurt Busiek talking about it today. That's how I heard about this. So of course, he worked with Kurt Busiek on Avengers Forever and other things. They were friends, and yep, 60 years old, I believe. It's I mean, it's just, and they were a lot younger, but both of them, I believe he had I think he had ALS. if I read right, correctly. And I'm not sure how Kevin O'Neill passed, but again, to have two of them this close together, we went through. This was similar to. These guys are definitely both big comic book names for sure. But just was it just a few months back? Obviously, earlier in the year, we had, in succession, two of the biggest legends of all comic legends of all time. In one we knew that was on the way coming, which was George Perez, unfortunately. Then Neil Adams right after him, and it was horrible. There were one was we kind of known about it was coming, and the other one was very old, but it was more of a shock for the older one, meaning Adams. Those are two of the giants. But now here we are all now in November, in the same span of a couple of days, two guys who were certainly very big names in the game, and very well known and very well respected. Two top-notch great talents, Kevin O'Neill and Carlos Pacheco. Sad. I gotta wait. I probably, even if Hungry Boy doesn't make it tonight, he's probably sleeping or whatever, resting. I hope, but I'll definitely talk about this a little bit tomorrow night on the clubhouse. But I just wanted to acknowledge it. Hated to bring again. Don't like to bring everybody down, especially after last night. But you just never know. These are not two of the guys I would have expected. Of course, most all the great big names, almost the entire Golden Age is already gone. Almost all of the Silver Age greats are gone. And aren't even a lot of the Bronze Age greats are gone. Not all of them. There's still some of them left. So, my goodness. It's just a shame. So, rest in peace, Carlos Pacheco. You left behind a legacy. There's no question about it. And there are people who've loved your work, and it will go on being loved forever. And same thing to Kevin O'Neill. You've left behind both of them have left behind a gigantic body of work that will be appreciated for as long as people appreciate art. Very talented individuals. And it's a damn shame. And rest in peace. And I think all of us who've enjoyed comic books as big parts of our lives, thank you for your contribution, both of you. I don't even know if they even knew each other. They probably did, relative contemporaries. And the funny thing is, I guess they were two of the only guys around at least around starting out, when they did Bronze and a little bit after, that are even around right now. Hey, Cardinal Sim, what's up, buddy? And thank you, sir. You're too kind. Thank you for the $9.99 super sticker. Good to see you, brother. Thanks for stopping in, man. Always a pleasure, buddy. Thank you so much, Cardinal Sin. Hope you're doing all right, man. Hope everything's going well with you and all of you. Thank you all for being here with us tonight. On this wild card. I need to start having like real topics and stuff for my wild card shows again. In fact, that's what the poll was about. And let me refresh and we'll take a look at the poll, tonight's poll. Because why not? Yeah. Come on. All right. Come, man, it takes a second. It takes a second for this to happen. All right. Yeah, righty. Okay. Now. All right. Tonight's poll so far with 25 votes. Okay. Get some votes in at least. All right, 25 votes. The question was, which of these topics would you most like to see me do a top 25 countdown of? In first place by a significant margin at 60% is movies of the 80s. In second place at 28%, greatest comic book stories. And way down there in third place at 8% is top comic character castings in film or movies. And way at the bottom is number at 4%, top 25 TV characters. Fair enough. I like it. Okay, and here's the thing about this, because this is something I've done over here. I went for my first 11 years and 700 episodes doing this show from 2009 until 2020. Something that I did so many top 25 countdown shows, usually, not always, but usually with my great friend Flash. I miss him. He's just can't hang anymore. He's got things to do and stuff like that. But I try to get him on when I can. I'm going to get him back on again. But I miss him. He was my regular there when, we had a lot of fun together. And I ran out of topics. I ran out of top 25 countdown topics to do. So I decided, when I started back over here, I did a couple with my dear departed friend Mark C. He and I did a couple. Flash and I did one or two, I think, as well. And I haven't done very many. So these topics that you see here, greatest the movies of the 80s is one that my great friend Michael French from Retro Blasting and I did a good while back, but it was so long ago. I mean, we're talking, got to be close to 10 years ago, if not more. So that's in another universe. So it's like I've never done it, really. It's not like I've never done it because we had a great time doing it. I still remember it, but no one here would know about it. So it's a remake. I hate remakes usually, but in this case, it's different. Remakes of old topics. It's different because no one here would ever even see that, or that you can't even see it. It was Blog Talk Radio. It was, the recording still exists somewhere. I think that's still on there, but you know what I'm saying. And I even mentioned that to Michael last time we talked. I think he's game. So that's one I'm hoping will happen soon. I want to try to do that one first because, again, he's, of course, Retro Blasting is a great page that talks about the 80s and other things, but big time on the 80s. So I can't wait to, just start over, do that list again. That's going to be a lot of fun because the 80s was just a great episode. Excuse me, a great decade for movies. I've also done, hey, Scuba Pete, what's up, buddy? Good to see you there, bro. So, yeah, hopefully Michael and I will do that again recently. He's a very busy man. I hate to bug him, but I'm going to bug him just enough to see if I can get him to, again, because, it's one thing to get him just to come on and shoot the shite about, something he's already done, like videos or whatever, but, to make him have to sit around and think of those things again, but I'm going to bug him because I think, I think he'd like it. I think he'd like doing it again. I hope he would. Maybe he wouldn't, but he's such a good guy. He'd do it anyway for me. I know he would. So, Michael, if you're hearing me, brother, again, we could pick a totally different topic. I just thought that might be one that would be fun to revisit. I've also done greatest comic book stories. That was, again, with someone else. But it was done, it's, again, more than 10 years ago. Also, I do believe, now this is fragmentary memory, but I think that my wonderful Retro Blasting friends, Michael and Melinda, and we all did, I think we did a show on best cat. It was like a top 10er, though. Best movie and TV superhero or comic book casting. And then we did one on worst. I seem to remember, Michael, that we did one on worst. I said it like he's listening. I don't know if he's listening. But I think we did long ago. Trevor Cunningham says he's a theater usher in the 80s. Wow, cool. Phantom Slider says interesting topic would be pick your best team of heroes in a universe, 10 picks. Oh, make your own team? Interesting. I like it. like a free for all exercise in a sense. I'm with you. Let's see. And we've also Flash and I've also done top TV characters. And Gwagnar, how dare you? Oh Lordy. He says top 25 reasons why Clobby likes Vince Coletta's work. So in order to do a top 25 on that one, Gwagnar, I'd have to have start at 1, and I can't, man. I'd make that list for you. I'd do that just for you, Gwag, but I don't think I could get to 25 because I don't think I could get to 1. Okay, I mean, I could, if I were like one of the Marvel or DC editors, if I were playing like the devil's advocate, I'd say, well, he was fast. Yeah, he was fast. Top 25 TV characters would be boring. Clobby would just have Wesley in positions 1 through 25. Well, thanks for spoilering the list there, D-Bud. Thanks a lot, buddy. Now no one's going to be surprised. Damn, dude. What are you, like, filling in for Eric K with the Wesley stuff? Eric says, look, I can't be there tonight. Could you make sure you mention Wesley in the chat a few times for me, D-Bud? Well, mission accomplished. But I do appreciate it, incidentally. It's not like it goes unappreciated. Wagner. Oh, yeah, but the Wagner, that, you know what? That doesn't, I will allow it. It's almost a cheat because it's a book written about him. But that is a good point. You do say, I have one, meaning, I think he means the reason for liking Vince Coletta. And he says, there was a good TwoMorrows book written on him. Yes, it was called The Thin Black Line, wasn't it? And I don't have that book. I've always meant to get it when it goes cheap. But that book was written posthumously, and it was just about, and the book was about how controversial he was. So technically, that's the thing to like about him, I guess. I'll allow it, Wagner. I'll allow it. Mark D with a C pops in. What's up, dude? He's lurking. Working on a program for a chat. Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. Working. That's safe. You're more than welcome to pop in, but if you're busy, that's okay. We still won't talk bad about you. Well, we'll say that for tomorrow night, won't we? Nah. Anyway, I hope you're feeling better, bro. But anyway, so yeah, tomorrow's the big day. I think Mark D's going to go too. I better not be seeing this thing alone. I guess he's going to see. I guess you're going to see Wakanda. Don't make me go see it, but don't be the only one around here. Oh boy. What a week. Already. It's only freaking Wednesday. Yeah. So again, RIP to the 2 comic book artists that we just talked about passing, and we'll talk about it again tomorrow night on the Clubhouse. JT Kirk says you can't go see Wakanda Forever this week, Club. Oh, actually, I do have a pass. I know what you're talking about. I've heard about that, JT. The gentleman that I was telling you about, who's a very good friend of mine, who that we go to all the movies together. He gave me a pass because he has a certain card without, in other words, he has a certain tone, if you will, that allows me to have a pass. Because I made sure I checked with him. I made sure that I got his permission to go see it. Because you're right, otherwise I can't go this week because, yeah, but 80s movies is going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to doing that one. Fandoms as worst TV characters. Wesley, STD cast, Wesley. Yeah. Oh, yeah, worst characters? Yeah, that would be fun. Yeah. We'll stick with best. Yeah. Well, I mean, there will be some worst lists, of course. What did we do? We did. So we did every damn list under the sun. We ran out toward the end of that. By the time we got to almost the end of the run over there on BTR, we ran out. Ironhide says, Clobby, will you do wild card shows on a particular TV show you like? Oh, you like not like Saturday Night Live, not Star Trek, but on an informal stream. Yeah, yes, I've done it before, and that's a very good question, Ironhand. I'm going to be doing that soon, where at least once a month I'm going to talk about one show that I love. It'll be boring for most people if they don't not into it, but also every now and then I like to talk about obscure TV shows. I've done that, but it's been about a year or two now since I've done it. I might do it again soon. Like some shows that I love. There's an old song like Brilliant but Canceled, a show that's great, but it didn't make it. I've done that. I did I think I did that as a list. I did that as a list on my own one time. Oh yeah, and what we did, Flash and I did do a show here. We did our top all-time favorite movies and TV shows here while we've been on YouTube, so that's been done. Oh yeah, well, Trevor, hey, big Prisoner fan right here, buddy. Love The Prisoner. But we're going to talk about some really obscure ones. I mean, I get some shows no one's even heard of. You know what? And by the way, speaking of TV shows, if any of you are any of you familiar with Paul Chato? He goes on. He's friends now, I think, with Paulie, our good buddy Paulie at Latino Slant, and he's friends. I think he's was it Paulie or is it Midnight's Edge? He's friends with. Sorry, he's friends with our good buddy Tom at Midnight's Edge, and goes on there. He has a great YouTube channel, and he's a former network exec. He does fun stuff. He's got a fun series of videos that I've really been enjoying. I just discovered them on his channel. Paul Chato, great channel, by the way. If you find it, yeah, Mr. Canoehead, yeah. He about TV Guide. He does the TV Guide fall preview of different years. He started. I mean, he goes back as far as 1970. Yeah, Chato's friends with Andre. So I don't know if he knows Paulie. I was thinking of Chris Gore, who knows Paulie, but yeah. But anyway. D-Bud, exactly, one with Isaac Asimov's name in the title. The show made for me and me only. The great 7-episode masterpiece called Isaac Asimov's Probe, starring the great Parker Stevenson and the wonderful Ashley Crow. So, Mr. Chato, Paul Chato, has these video series that I'm just now really getting hooked on. I'm going to watch them all about because we used to, it's a TV Guide the fall preview issue of TV Guide. Man, remember that when you were a kid? If you were a kid of the 70s, 60s, and 70s and 80s, even through the 80s, every year when you get that fall preview of TV Guide and you look at all the new shows coming on, we used to like to sit there. Oh, Chato's been on that 70s. Really? Okay. I didn't know that, D-Bud. I did not know that. Really? Cool. Well, he's awesome. He's cool. I like him a lot. So my buddies and I, this is what sad geeks we were, because we were hanging around at comic shops. What do you expect? Oh, there you go. Yep, there's Chato's channel. I highly recommend it. The guy's hilarious. Very cool gentleman. I don't know him personally, but I know people who know him, like Tom and Andre, and now obviously 70s. And his videos are really great. He does great review stuff, and I love those TV Guide, the ones I've been watching so far, and they're great. And I love those. Anyway, I relate to it so much because we used to get the TV Guide fall preview, and we'd all sit there and we started like this ritual. We would look at these new shows, the new shows, a page on each new show coming up, and we'd make our predictions. Crap, dead. This one's gonna get canceled. Whatever. We would really go. This is dead. This one's dead. This one's dead. That one, I don't know. And we would try to predict what would make it, what wouldn't, and most of them didn't. Yeah, still have the TV Guide fall previews from 1975 to 1980, says D-Bud. Wow. I think I saw a video where Mr. Chato said he only had one going back to like 79 or something like that, 75, but someone gave him a bunch of old ones from like, so he's got videos on like 1972 on up to 80 something now, I think. He did them number of months back, but I just discovered them, so I'm enjoying those. Anyway, I have a buddy of mine, D Bud. He has every freaking TV guide going at least back to, I'm going to say either into the early 70s and it was every week. Maybe into the 60s, certainly early 70s. I'd have to ask him exactly where it starts until they stopped making it. And yes, he has stacks and stacks of those old format TV guide, the small Reader's Digest size TV guide. If you don't know what Reader's Digest is, then you're really not old. Or in fact, you're a child. But although our good friend Nick Courtney tells me they still make Reader's Digest. Anyway. But TV guide, man, it was so cool to get that thing and read about what's coming up. And we had my family, like every other family, had a subscription. It was in everyone's home. I always hate it when the subscription when my dad or mom would let the subscription lapse. Sometimes we'd have to go to the store to get it, but we got it. Every week. I had to go get the new TV guide. Yes. Also, the Friday night preview of the Saturday morning shows the night before, and you had to pick either CBS, NBC, or ABC. I think you meant ABC to decide which tune previews you wanted to see. Yes, I did. I love that fandom. Absolutely right. Oh, Ptolemy's minion is here. Hey, Ptolemy. Good to see you. I hope the lovely Pepperoni's doing okay. Hey, Pepperoni. Good to see you there, Ptolemy. I hope you're doing well and being safe out there, young lady. So, yeah, I mean, those videos he's done about that are a lot of fun. I loves them. And plan to watch them all. I've only seen the first couple. I was watching the one he did from 1974, just before we came on the air here. And man, some great shows debuted that year. The Rockford Files. What was now? I forget already. Rockford, though, greatness. And anyway, well, I can't remember them all. I know for Planet of the Apes, unfortunately, it was killed, but it was a great show. But so also what's great about it is he talks about the show. Most of the shows and gives kind of a basically a rundown of a sample of what some of them were like and everything. So, and of course he's very funny and again it's just terrific. So I'm enjoying those videos. If like I say, if you have nostalgic about old TV like I do, then there you go. Because I love it. Love. I love it. A lot. So, yeah. What's going on? Let's see. Let's take a look at the poll real quick since we're getting close to the top of Israel. Let me do a refresh here. Let's see if we got any more votes. And by the way, there's only, as you know, they only let you do 4 questions. So if you got any things that are geek related that you think I might be, again, I can't do everything. And it's got to be something I'm really, really interested in for me to do a top 25, because it's got to be something I'm knowledgeable about for me to do a top 25. So if you have any ideas, the poll is pretty much, there's only one more votes from before. So oh, wow, it did get a little different though. Movies of the 80s is still number 1, but it's at 58%. The gap hasn't changed that much to the next one at number 2 at 27%, meaning greatest comic book stories. But 27 votes now. And so movies of the 80s is at 59. Greatest comic book stories is at 26 at second place. And a tie for third is top comic character castings and film and top 25 TV characters. Wow. People really want to see something about 80 movies, that's for sure. 80s movies it is, looks like, folks. Zathras. Now, JT Kirk, that's interesting. Worst to best CW superhero shows. The thing is, I hate them all. I can't stand any of them. That's a list. That's the list I would have to defer to someone who is more well disposed towards those shows, JT. Because I'll tell you my history with CW TV shows. I watched the first 2 seasons of The Flash because I got cajoled into it by my aforementioned good buddy and somebody else. My buddy Flash, and they were all telling me they watch it. I don't know. Everyone was saying, you ought to watch The Flash. It's really good. It's really good. And I watched the first 2 seasons. And it was watchable to keep me enough to keep me watching, but I wasn't particularly enamored of it. And then when the 3rd season, a couple of episodes into the 3rd season, when I saw they were doing Flashpoint Paradox, I was like, I hate Flashpoint in the comics, and I hate it here. And the show's not really that good anyway. So at best, I found that one like sort of watchable. And I watched the first season of the stupid Supergirl show when it was on CBS, and all you see is BS. And I didn't really like that much on there. When it went to CW, about 2 episodes in, I'm like, I'm gone. So aside from those 2, I don't think I've watched any bits and pieces here and there of some CW stuff as far as superheroes, and it doesn't interest me. I'm anti-interested in it because I don't like the way they do anything. Now, I'm told by many, many people that I have to watch Stargirl or I will just be missing out like a big time. And I believe you all when you say Stargirl is good. And I have no reason to disbelieve you. I might watch it and think, yeah, it's good. It's just not really the way I want my superheroes. So JT, look, yeah, it's got to be done. Yeah, I hear it's got to be done by someone who actually cares about those shows, I guess. And they don't have 25 of them anyway, do they? Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah. Now, when I first saw what you put out there, I thought I didn't see the CW. I thought you just said like a top superhero TV shows. I don't agree with that statement, Mark D with a C. He says I must watch Stargirl. I must. I'm not so sure I agree with that statement. I mean, I would not dispute a statement that says, hey, you ought to watch, or you should watch it. Even then, I might quibble with should as well. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. But must, I definitely quibble with. Stephen Kal-El says, Stargirl was pretty good for the first 2 seasons, but I lost interest in the show in season 3. JT Kirk says, top 25 superhero TV shows could be cool. Yeah, here's my problem with that one. If you're discounting, if you're talking live action, JT, I don't know if I could list you 25 live action TV shows that I like a lot enough to do that. I love Adam West and I love the George Reeves Superman. Let's face it, the Wonder Woman show is just kind of great to watch for Linda. I mean, let's just be honest. Phantom, look, you're not going to get me on Smallville either, dude. Like, I understand people like it. You talk about the one with the Justice Society. I hear you. I never could stand Smallville. It's not my bag. Again, call me crazy. And look, a lot of people really love it, including my buddies Flash. When you do something that's allegedly about Superman, but it's not really about Superman, and it's not even about Superboy, a character I love, no tights, no flights. That's what these jackoffs who created Smallville said when that was their tagline going into the creation of the series. Now, if you say that, then that means you're nothing to do with Superman. You're using it. You're using a property from it. You're using things from Superman, but you're nothing. You're not Superman. Just like the show Gotham is not Batman. And of course, even less because you got Bruce Wayne in it. But it's not a Batman show. It's a Gordon show. So what? The whole thing with Smallville just doesn't do it for me. I don't care. And if Zathras, if you're saying I'm crazy, then you'll never get an argument there. If that means I want, and I get you what you're saying. I want my superheroes the way I want them. And it's true. I am crazy. $6 million Man and Bionic Woman are not necessarily superhero shows. They've got superpowers that they, they were given to by technology. And the $6 Million Man is an adaptation of a book called Cyborg by Martin Caden. Yeah, I don't think I could do a superheroes live action TV show list either. It'd be such a short list. Animated, I've done a good bit, and we might do that again. No, I know Zathras. I know I did. And I'm glad somebody listens to me for a change. Call me crazy. I understand what you mean, Zathras. And by the way, Babylon 5 is better than DS9, right? I mean, even when you're not there at Saturday Night Star Trek, Zathras, I just want you to know, this past week, I said it for you. I said Babylon 5 is better. Ironhide says, top live action and then animated superhero movies. Well, yeah, top live action movies are doable. And as far as animated superhero movies, most of them have been, Loki and I are going through the DC ones, but as far as animated movies, Marvel only had a handful of straight to DVD animated ones, but DC had. That's okay, Zathras. At least you got some sleep. So there. Stephen M. says, I respect that, Claudia. But truth be told, I enjoyed Smallville once they stopped infecting everyone with kryptonite from week to week and Gotham as a concept show. Hey, that's all right, man. Like I said, my two buddies who did the show with me back on the old BATR, Matt and Flash, they were big Smallville fans. It was their favorite show. So I know many people who like it. I just, again, I have a certain prerequisite for my superheroes. Well, I don't know what can I tell you? But but Gotham, dude. Look, I can, if you would ask me why after I say this, I can't tell you why. But I watched Gotham for almost 3 years, like 2.5, maybe into how many seasons were there? Because I did stop. But really, at least into, if not the second, all the way to the second, maybe into the third season. I can't really remember. Something's wrong with you when you're forcing yourself to watch something. And something was wrong with me for forcing myself to watch something. Every week I go, well, it's going to get interesting. Now, it was interesting. Don't get me wrong. I like the guy playing Gordon, but he's Batman. What do you need with Batman? All the villains were becoming the villains 10 years before there was going to be a Batman, which pisses me off. I don't know why anyone thinks that's okay. I love Sean Pertwee as Alfred, but is he really Alfred? He's such a badass. I'm like, Alfred doesn't need to be that much of a badass. I know they made the Pennyworth show where he's a secret agent and all this kind of horse shit. I don't know. It's overkill. Some of these characters, some of these actors, yeah, they were fine. But it just doesn't. I don't understand why these fuckheads always have to do something peripheral to Batman. I'm tired of it. Birds of Prey, Gotham, all these other things. Anything but Batman. These shows just call them anything but Batman. Steven says, well, when they had the Penguin run for mayor, yes, I would agree with that statement. Otherwise, though, it was interesting. I don't even. That must have been after I left. I don't know. Problem was they really didn't advance Bruce to Batman. It's like what they did. Yeah, they had all kind of unbelievably stupid shit on that show. How about other countries' versions of heroes like Japanese Spider-Man? That might be fun. Yeah, that'd be fun one to look into, I guess, Trevor. I've seen some of those. It's weird, isn't it? Batman Brave and the Bold did an episode where they showed different types of versions of Batman. They showed the anime or manga / anime version of him. That was kind of fun. But yeah, so it's putting the villains not only before Batman, but something like 10 years before Batman, and having, basically you had Gordon fighting supervillains. Sucks. JT Kirk says, the problem they keep running into with these major characters is that they make the antagonist too OP, so then the janitor cleans up Bruce Wayne's cave is more powerful than Iron Man by season 2. Yeah, it's nuts. And the problem is they always want to save Batman for like these one-off movies. He's better as a serialized character. Decepticon, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Okay, Guagnar, this is what are the kids calling this now? Like a hot take? Like you say something that you think am I misreading it? Because I've heard it recently, and I don't know all of the youngster vernacular out there. Does hot take mean it's maybe a controversial opinion? Because I have something of a controversial opinion on the 90s Flash series TV show with John Wesley Shipp. When it first came on, I remember that pilot. It had the Danny Elfman score. They even had a stupid scene at the end of the pilot. It was a ripoff of Batman '89 movie where basically he tells the villain, "You made me," and the lightning strike goes across the moon, aping that scene. Well, not stupid. The scene in Batman. The scene in Batman '89. Sorry, everybody. I was getting texted there. Sorry. So I watched the show. I thought there were a couple of. First of all, can we be honest about something? John Wesley Shipp, and many of my dearest friends love that show so much. Some of you may love it. John Wesley Shipp was a bit too buff for Barry Allen for my taste. I don't think he was much of an actor, to be perfectly honest with you. The show was okay. Most of it was him just running around. Well, no pun intended. Just running around fighting normal type characters. I mean, the Trickster episodes of Mark Hamill were pretty good. But a lot of times, I don't think they wrote the show particularly well. Decepticon says, narrowing it down, how about best Bronze Age comic stories? Oh, yeah, there's a good one. Yes, I like that idea, Sean. Thank you. Hot take is not better than a hot pocket. Yada. Yip. I think you're right, Clobby. They created a show called Gotham because they were saving Batman for movies. So, yeah. So why don't they just call it Bat Gordon? Yeah. Dude, Flash's costume was like Schwarzenegger's suit. Yeah. He's too muscly for Flash for me. Yeah, man, the pace is wonderful, but come on, dude. I like the Nightshade episodes, Wagner. I mean, like I say, I don't hate the show or anything. Was it Bilson and DeMille, those guys who did that? They also worked on The Rocketeer, I believe. And that was okay. It should have lasted. It would be nice if the show had lasted longer. Again, I see that guy. I don't really think about Barry Allen. I think he was a bit too muscly. Yeah, exactly, Phantom. Barry was more of a runner type. He wasn't. I don't understand why they had to make him Muscle Boy. Guagnar. How about Sheena with Gina Lee Nolan? Well, how about it? I mean, I watched that show. I think I did watch it. It was a syndicated show, I believe, right? Late 90s, maybe. Yeah, she's cute. She was a cutie. As Sheena, yeah. Show was just, not much to it. It was kind of silly, of course, but so was the movie with Tanya Roberts. Rest her. So I don't know, but yeah, I do like that idea, Sean. Yes, Bronze Age for sure. Nobody. No, well, it's a good thing you didn't watch the show for plot, Guagnar, because there was not one to be found anywhere. Yeah. So I'm wondering. The past two times that I've subjected myself to Marvel MCU movies, they had some kind of special thingy at the concession stand. For Thor Love and Blunder, way better than the movie was this really cool popcorn bucket. Even though you could fit like 3 pieces of popcorn in it, it was a metal bucket that has a Thor hammer on it. For Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, had a really cool like square box that you could put a good bit of popcorn in it, and it was orange and all looked like a magic, spell type thingy. It was pretty cool. I wonder if Black Panther Wakanda Forever is going to have anything like that. Decepticon says the Flash 90 series was the best they could do with the TV executives' 90s bias, ignorance, comics at the time. Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess so. But I even though I was of adult age at the time, I still wanted it to be, I wanted it the way I wanted it and didn't get it. So I understand all that. Well, we know, I mean, Subrat says, hey, can't stay, but hugs from former Red Sonja. That's right. You're all a Red Sonja here, Stunt Brat. Love you so much. Thank you for popping in. Appreciate you. The great Stunt Brat 777 Smith, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night, dear. I did like that Nightshade episode of the 90s Flash show. With they had a throwback type of a character called the Nightshade. The episode was called, I think, the Deadly Nightshade or something like that. But it was a throwback to an older hero from earlier times. Okay, there's a popcorn bucket for the movie. It's a rock, huh? I bet it'll be as dumb looking as the movie. JT Cook says, here's my idea for a superhero TV show. New character, hottest young actress you can find in the tightest uniform. She saves the day, but doesn't preach about evil men. It will make billions. Yes, it would. I'm all down for that. So there is Wagner says there is a popcorn bucket. Good to know. Well, I'm not going to get full. Look, I felt like a jack. It's funny. The one that they had for the Doctor Strange one wasn't as expensive, and say what you want about the movie, I still like that I got that one. The Thor one, as cool as it is, it was too expensive, and I wish I hadn't bought it. So I don't care what it is tomorrow. I'm not buying it. I'm sure Mark D is, but I'm not. Now, when I went to see Black Panther in 2018, the first film, I did get a really cool cup, though. They had a cup. It was like a very nice tumbler type cup, really big. It had these great designs on the side of it. And I wore that sucker out. I used it so much. If they had something like that, I'd probably get it. But they won't. And this movie doesn't have anything to do with T'Challa, so they can go screw anyway. I'm sure I'll be complaining about it tomorrow night. Decepticon says, I'm dreading Wakanda Forever. Me too, dude. I read and heard spoilers. Sounds miserable and appalling. Yeah, can't wait. I also heard some spoilers today on the Film Threat thing on the Film Threat stream today. Cal says, question. Clobby, was the trickster in the classic Flash comics like the one that Hamill portrayed on the Flash TV 90 series? Because Hamill played him like the Joker from Batman the Animated Series. He kind of, and that was before the animated series, he kind of played him sort of like the Jack Nicholson. No, he wasn't. I don't really think he was that way, Kal-El. He was trying to make him more Joker type. It's funny how that's the thing. Back when he got the voice cast of the Joker, I thought first thing I thought of was, wow, he was the trickster. And his trickster. As I recall, I don't think he was much like that. Yeah, Mark D. What if it's a Riri Williams figure? Then I'm sure you'll buy it. Not me. This episode says you guys are lucky you get all these cool buckets and toppers for the films. We only get occasionally now. Yeah, in this case, and the thing is about it, Sean, is I don't even want one because like for example, yeah, Thor and Love and Thunder suck, but you still Thor's hammer on a popcorn bucket, so it's kind of cool. Multitude of Magnus or whatever with Doctor Strange is stupid, but that's kind of a cool box thing they had for the popcorn thing. I didn't even get anything at the Batman, but I know some friends got like a Batman head bucket or something. And when Ghostbusters last year had the Ecto one as a container. Zathra says, I heard a spoiler. Babylon 5 is better than DS9. Spoilers. And I think that's no longer a spoiler, buddy. Slumber said, I worked on The Flash. 1991. Well, really? Wow. Mark Hamill was my passenger in a loaded car carrier. He was very nice. There you go. Wow, that's fantastic. Look, I think that show should have lasted longer. Yeah, Trevor, you also saw the Film Threat review. I saw bits and pieces of that, and I trust those guys usually. I mean, look, I am dreading the hell out of this. I gotta say, dreading it, Sean. Oh man. Classic Comics says the interesting thing is that on the Flash show, they gave the Trickster a female partner admirer named Prank, who was very similar to Harley Quinn, and I think was a prototype for Harley. That could be. I mean, you never know. It wasn't that many years before the animated series, that's for sure. I figured as much. Hamill was one crazy character voice, and it's Joker from BTAS, yeah. He even used the same voice for Skeletor from that Dumpster Fire Masters of the Universe regurgitations, yes. Somebody said, did you see the crazy leotard I had to wear? I'd love to see that. I'm game to see that anytime. We'd all love to see that, I'm sure. Stop, Brad. Just kidding. No, we're not kidding. We would love to, but we're just messing with you. Phantom says, I'm surprised it's not a Riri Williams helmet with corn roses popcorn container. Maybe it is. Could only fit like one piece of popcorn because of her brain size. Oh, she's the smartest. She's the smartest and bestest ever. You know that, Phantom Clone. You pig, you. Riri Williams. Wow. And Shuri. Love you too, Stop Rat. I know we would love seeing that. See, Shuri, I know they did that in the comics, where she took over for T'Challa. I don't care. I like T'Challa. I don't give a shit about JT Kirk. That would be a short topic there. I don't give a shit about Shuri. And then she's annoying. And she was in they just see. Am I the only one that couldn't stand the Black Panther movie in 2018? Now, when I went to see it that night, because we didn't go to a 3-something feature, we went to a 7, 8, or whatever. My buddy and myself and my son, and I had my Black Panther T-shirt on, which had an old school Bronze Age Gil Kane, Black. I think of Rich Buckler. Sorry, Black Panther on the cover. On my shirt. And there were a lot of people running around there with really nice people. Ran into a couple of nice people at the concession stand. Good one, Sean. That were dressed in African garb or similar. They saw our shirts because nobody else had a Black Panther shirt because we're actually fans of the character in the comics. And we started talking about it. And they were asking questions about the comic, the character. They'd seen Civil War, of course, because he was in that. Chadwick Boseman was terrific, and they were really excited to learn things about the character in the comic. After talking to him for 5 minutes, that you could tell they didn't know anything about the comic book character, which is fine. You don't have to know anything about that to go see the movie. But I told them some stuff anyway, and it was, they were very nice. They were very excited. And when we walked out of the theater, I was just like, wow, I guess it's okay. And then a bad thing happened to me when I was on the way home. I started thinking about it because I just watched the whole movie kind of numb. And I automatically hate what they did to the character of T'Challa because he's T'Challa's one of the smartest guys in the Marvel Universe. He's a scientist. He's, he can hang out with Reed Richards and Hank Pym and Tony Stark. So in this movie, he's just muscle. He just fights, and he doesn't even have any really good fighting scenes either, by the way. But he's not the scientist. Sure he is. Sure he's the smart one. She's the tech and all that stuff. He's just not a scientist now. He's just like a dude who wants to fight and stuff. You really cheat the character when you do that. Then you ruined Claw. This is how stupid this movie is. Ryan Coogler, you're a jerk off. You and Kevin Feige, because it's probably Feige's fault. It's mostly his fault. You get a character like, first of all, you didn't even handle Killmonger correctly, nor did you handle M'Baku correctly. I know we can't say what his real original name was. Man-Ape, that was what it was. M'Baku. He's just again, he's nothing like the comic book character. You get a guy like Andy Serkis, who would be perfect to play. In fact, in the short bit he had in Avengers Age of Ultron as Claw, he was really good. He's a great actor. And here you have Claw in the Black Panther first film, and you waste him. Literally and figuratively. Because you write him just like he's just a petty criminal. He's going to Wakanda with Killmonger. And then Killmonger kills him. And he's dead. And that's it. You killed him. After getting... Feige, why did you why chop his arm off? I know why you did that, though, because every movie... By the way, did you all know that there's an Easter egg that runs through every MCU movie where somebody gets a limb cut off in every one of them? Every one of them. Every one of them. And it was a big running joke through all those movies. So, and it's a Star Wars reference. It's Feige, because Feige likes Star Wars. Clearly doesn't like Marvel. So the movie was about, it was about a lot of wrong social messaging also, I think, Sean. But it's boring. And then so you take, when you kill, when Killmonger, shoots Claw, Ulysses Claw, how about you have him do that and he falls down into this thing and he lands on the vibranium and he becomes Claw, the master of sound, like he did in the freaking comic book. And how about, since he's lost his arm, he should have had a vibranium sound creating thingy on his arm already, and that could have turned into his channeling device that he uses to focus sound. And then you've got the villain Claw, who comes back and he could start making sound constructs of monsters and different things that he would make with the sound, his construct sounds. And that would have been a terrifying and interesting villain for Black Panther to fight instead of some stupid, lousy CG scene where he fights another dude in a Black Panther outfit, which was boring. The movie's boring. There are no really good action sequences at all in the first movie. It's all preachy drivel. It's bad. It's absolutely, I mean, it's not the worst of the MCU movies for me, but I got it very lowly rated, which you all probably were well aware of by now. In fact, I've got the first, because my good buddy, Retro Blaster buddy Michael French and I, we did we ranked the Marvel movies on 2 different occasions in 2 different years. And there are now 29 Marvel movies, folks. With this one tomorrow, this will be the 30th. Wakanda Forever will be the 30th. I've got Black Panther at number 23 with 1 star. Out of 29, it probably could be lower, but there's some worse movies that are even worse. But not by much. I wonder if that villain would help the MCU claw back its fans. No, JT Kirk, I doubt it. I would love their Secret Wars movie to draw from the 84 series mostly and have Claw appear there as the master of sound. Yeah. And see, I hated the 84 Secret Wars comic, Sean, but if they do that, it'll be, whatever they do is the comic still be better than that. Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic, this bastards. The Blighties, So, what are you going to do? Nobody cares anymore. They're just going to keep making this crap. I do think this thing will underperform. No way this movie is going to make what the first one made. Not a shot, not a prayer. Hello there, Michelle O'Rourke Johansson. Hello, I hope you're doing well tonight. Good to see you, dear. So Fanti says, Wakanda and Atlantis are the 2 worst kingdoms in the Marvel Universe. There isn't a Wakandan or Atlantean born with an ounce of integrity, and now Latvians are loyal to their leader. Well, I don't know about that. I don't know. I just know that this is not the Wakanda from the comic books, and this is not Atlantis at all. Then I'm going to call it Atlantis. Chris says, are you expecting Feige to know the difference between Claw from the comics and Dr. Claw from Inspector Gadget? No, sir, I'm not. But I'm expecting his advisors to know it. I mean, he does get, somebody advises them on some of this stuff. I'm expecting him to know someone who knows it. I'm expecting Feige can get this info, folks. This info, look, because remember I said this not too long ago. Sean says, I know you hated the 84 comic. I hate the sequel, Secret Wars 2, but I'm so fascinated by the hubris of Shooter. Oh, yeah, Shooter. Well, Blue. Yeah. I too am fascinated by the hubris of Shooter. Absolutely, Sean. No, I hear you, brother. You don't want to know what I did to my copies of Secret Wars, by the way. With that Secret Wars series and Jim Shooter's time at Marvel overall, it depends on when you grew up. Yeah, I know that. You're right, Ironhead. Clobby, being a 70s kid, hates him while your boys Zach and Young Ripper say Shooter saved Marvel. Totally disagree. But I hear you. I like Shooter's older stuff. But I hear you, Ironside. And I didn't, by the way, I did not know that your boy Zach and Ripper ever said that. I'm a big fan of I like Zach. Actually, I don't agree with him a lot of things he says anyway. I really like Young Ripper a lot. I did not know they say that. I would argue that all day long. I think he ran Marvel into the ground in the 80s. Chased away all their best talent. So now they weren't old enough to know what was going on at the time, so maybe they've gone back and done some reading. I remember it very well. Not pulling age rank on them or anything, but there's no way that's true. I mean, the company went down the tubes, yeah, under him. But Feige could get that info. And by the way, look, I loved Shooter when Shooter went to Valiant. I loved that for a while. Then it didn't last long either. Feige's too busy greenlighting storylines of Disney shows. Disney shows that directly insult fans. Yes, it's true. Because he's an idiot. He's an imbecile. But what I'm saying is, I was going to make this point a little while ago. They put enough stuff into all these shows and movies that they're getting it from somewhere. And I know, like, people flippantly joke, like, well, they're just picking up Marvel Universe Handbook and just, picking this and that and the other thing. I think they are talking to some geeks who are giving them a lot of info, and then they just pick and choose what they want and leave the rest, or telling them things like, okay, read this, read that, read this, and and they find out how to cherry pick all these different bits and pieces from these stories and hodgepodge them into one silly soup of crap, usually with these movies. But you have to be getting the information from somewhere. Beyonders better have the disco colors and curly activator hair. He might. I don't know. Zathras was it? Zathras, you and Mr. Plinkett must be around the same age. Or Mr. Plinkett's here, or anybody like some pizza rolls? This movie sucks. Well, Wagner, I don't know, man. No real comic book geek would advise him to use any of these crappy stories and characters. I think that they talk to these people, and then they do their own thing. They get pieces of stuff and do their own crap with them. No. Then again, I don't know. There's some real comic book geeks that don't give a crap either if they pay them enough. I don't know. You might be right. You could be right. But they're getting it from somewhere. Someone, for example, do you really think that these idiots in that writer's room for She-Hulk knew who Man-Bull was, or Porcupine, or Toad, or whoever else they used? Well, Ironhides makes a good point. They don't talk to comic geeks. They talk to Dan Slott. Well, Dan Slott also, look, he's an idiot. But Dan Sloth is a comic book geek too. But let me tell you something about that. Okay, they asked which word stores. Let me tell you something. Why I do think they do talk to some of them. You're all familiar with a guy named Tom Brevoort? Tom Brevoort, I don't know if he's still working at Marvel. And maybe he isn't. If you ever look at his blog, dude knows comics big time. He even knows he knows a lot of the same stuff I love. Buddies of mine are constantly sending me links to things he writes about that are some of the same stuff we all love. He has the same love he loves Blake Seven, for God's sake. He loves a lot of cool stuff that I love. And I don't know exactly how old he is, but he knows the stuff. I don't know if he's still with Marvel anymore, but I do know that he's also an SJW. Here's the thing. Some of these guys are still SJW types. like are close to it. If you want to, not to get too, try not to get political, but they lean the ways of the SJW. Hey, I mean, Mark Evanier, whom I like on a lot of stuff when if he's just talking comics. He and some other of these old school guys, even from the old school, are SJW dickheads who would talk to these people. So just because they know their comics doesn't mean they won't get involved with these people. Sean says the magic of being excited for MCU project is gone. Yeah, I second that. Mine's gone. I had it for a good while, and it's gone as well for me. I dread what they'll do with Adam Warlock, Killraven, or Skull the Slayer would make, with Adam Warlock. If Killraven or Skull the Slayer would make awesome projects, but they'd mess them up. Don't trust them. No, absolutely. I could not agree more, Sean, that there was a time there from about 2008, for a clean decade, about 2008 to 2018, from Iron Man to Infinity War, where I genuinely didn't. I mean, do I love every film in between that point? No, of course not. They're messed up ones. They're flawed ones. That was the MCU though. It was not. Yes, there was a bit. There were bits and pieces here and there. I mean, there were elements and there were little bitty things being stuck in there that were MCU, building up the MCU, but or little seeds. But for the most part, that was the MCU, for better or worse. Not all the movies were good, of course, but you could at least enjoy them or not on an artistic and entertainment level and not have to worry about having anything to do with identity politics. They weren't the agenda, which, yes, was being implanted. I mean, the MCU was being impregnated with the MCU, but for about 10 solid years, it was just about making movies and making money for the big company. And the one good thing about them wanting to make money is it means they wanted to sell to everybody and they wanted to make movies for everybody. We all knew that, once they made enough money that they would be sacrificed on the altar of social justice. Kevin Feige made his fortune. Then he has to go. Now he has to go make the sacrifice. He's got to pay his dues, and that's what he was putting in there. So for 10 years, even though not all the movies were great, a lot of them were great. A lot of them were great, and it was so much fun to look forward to the next MCU movie. For me, it was. For a lot of people, it was. Even a lot of normies, not just geeks. Not because yes, they weren't exactly like they were in comics. I wasn't saying, oh yeah, this is perfect because it's just like it is in the comics. I was saying it's still good though. It doesn't have to be exactly like in the comics if it's good and enjoyable. And it was enjoyable enough for me. It was to go, yeah, okay, sure, I would have done that differently or this differently or that differently, but it's enjoyable. And I'm looking forward to the next one. If it sucks, it sucks. But if it sucks, it's just, hey, that happens. It's not a big deal. If it sucks, I'm like, well, maybe the next one. They didn't do anything that I freaking loathed and hated. I guess until Captain Marvel. I mean, there were movies I didn't like. I got them listed. I got them, and I got them listed. I got them ranked. But really, it was, Captain Marvel. It was after Infinity War. I can't remember exactly which film was after Infinity War. It was what was it? Oh, was Captain Marvel right before? It was right before Infinity War. So yeah, that was the first one that did it. So anyway. But for 10 years, it was something special to look forward to. And that's gone. You're absolutely right, Sean. It's gone. And that's a damn shame. Phantom Mouse Letter says if we are thanking the studio or tanking the studio, they should do the Zemo, the Titan Kitty show, but without the defenders to stop him. Yeah, without the defenders to stop him, he can lure away all the SJWs and take them into space. I'm down with that, buddy. I'm with you there, fam. So, Inhumans was a warning sign. Yeah, look, yeah, again, the agenda was, the MCU was being impregnated with that agenda, and it took hold. Let's see here. In retrospect, says Classic Comics, Black Panther was the first movie that really pushed that Yemenist agenda. T'Challa gets injured and he's out of commission for much of the film. While females driving the plot, it was totally about the ladies taking over. T'Challa was pretty much minimalized in his own movie, marginalized in his own film. But I'd say even before that, like Wasp and Ant-Man kind of did that too, which I didn't find it to be terrible of a movie or anything. I like the first Ant-Man movie, but it just, it was kind of so. But yes, the seeds were in there. Classic Comics. Now they're just fully grown, and it's nothing to do with the MCU anymore. It's MCU. It's not surprising that everything in my bottom rung is MCU. Let's see, because even though Black Panther does that, Black Panther might be the first MCU movie, the first one, but he's still. I don't know. That sure got close, but I'll still call it. I'll still go ahead and say it started with Captain Marvel. It somewhat skipped the Infinity War, and it kind of skipped Spider-Man Far From Good. Hey, look who's here! Add yourself, or I'll add you.
Hey, I figured I'd take a break from working and say hi.
How you feeling, man?
Oh, pretty good, much better. But I'm doing a charity dinner, and of course I know Desktop Publishing, so I volunteered to do like a 150-page program book.
Oh, no. Yikes.
So, Desktop Publishing. So fun. I don't know about going to see Black. It's going to be such a shame maybe to have to miss Black Panther.
You're going to make me see it by myself, you rotten.
Yeah, well, I got to do work. So
work.
Hopefully the clubhouse. Good. I'll be there for part of the clubhouse if I don't finish it tomorrow.
I hope so.
I'll come in for a little bit, but it's for the kids. It's for the children. So it's a charity. We donate money for sports and scholarship. So working hard on that. Of course, I was working the election too, so that took up all day yesterday.
It'll get me depressed again.
Well, that's all right. Well, my guys got clobbered, so
JT.
Yeah, we're not to get into politics, but yeah, but and I said, well, can you stream it? And I said, well, I know how to stream stuff now, so I've got rookered into doing that too for the group because once it's a problem when you know how to do things, then you get
yes, it is.
It's like owning a pickup truck when I was younger and everyone was moving, and then can you help us move? I'm like, I got to get rid of this pickup truck. Helping everyone move every weekend.
Yeah,
but no, it's all good. But we'll survive. So what you're not going to get the popcorn holder even if it's
no.
Yeah.
No. Well, I mean, if it's anything to do with T'Challa, maybe, but I'm not gonna. It's gonna be too expensive. I should have done that last time, even though the Thor one was cool. Sean says woke is the difference between something like Elsa Bloodstone versus Captain Marvel. Yes, Elsa was okay. One earns its audience through story. The other is forced. Yeah, the character never earning her moment. Yeah, Captain Marvel was total garbage. And again, so I think the MCU did start with Captain Marvel, skipped 2 movies because they didn't have much to do with those characters. It skipped Infinity War, and it skipped Spider-Man No Way Good. Was it Far From Good or whatever. And then it started officially with Black Widow, and everything after that is the MCU. Absolutely, purely, it's not even. Yes, the seeds were in there before, like I was saying, but that's when the official start. Movie number 25, and movie number 30 comes out tomorrow. So yeah, yucky. And I'm gonna have to go sit.
You going with your usual buddy? Who you go with all the movies?
Yeah.
Yep. Well, that's nice.
Sir.
Yep. Well, here is the popcorn holder that you can get.
Oh no! Let me see. Oh man, how much?
Light up
say how much it
10.
is.
Oh my
goodness,
doesn't say how
kinda,
much it is.
It's
He
kind of
just said
cool.
it's kind of cool.
It is kind of cool, but it's
the new tin will be for popcorn for $25. Features an illuminating Black Panther logo, the film's logo in the Wakandan language in gold.
Except it has that dumb logo, which it has the Wakanda Forever logo on it. That might chase me away. But man, hey, you could get popcorn in there. That's something.
I guess, yeah, you can get popcorn, yeah.
$25 buckarooskies, huh?
Do you really need that? I mean,
no.
Says the person whose room is filled with action.
You're going to be buying that, aren't you?
I don't know. I probably can't go tomorrow, which is sad.
Go the next day. When are you going to go?
Yeah, it'll be sold out. Well,
really?
I would go on the week. Yeah, these things sell out the first. When I went to see Thor,
you need me to get you one or not?
No, don't give me one.
I almost want to get me one. I kind of like that. I mean, I don't. I mean, even it doesn't. I mean, the past two movies sucked, and they had pretty cool containers. So why not, right? I mean,
well, the Thor one would look really cool, and the Batman one, cool. The Batman head was.
I didn't see the Batman one. I didn't see
what that was like. Cool too. Chris Gore had it.
I think Loki got that one. Linrod, hey there, good to see you. I think if I remember right, I think Loki got the Batman one. Unless it was more than one.
I thought it was just the Batman helm.
Say I like that one. Damn them.
Damn them.
Well, we probably won't have it. No, they probably will have it just because I don't need to spend that kind of money. I can't. I mean, it was $7 to get into the damn thing, and I had to get permission for you know why. I had to actually get a certain race card permission to go because I'm not supposed to be going tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Yep. Well, yeah.
I got a pass.
That's a dispensation, as we said at Catholic school.
Yeah. You know what's funny about that? The first one I went to check what the seating was, and there's nobody going to the art feature we're going to, and check with it, to get a ticket online because it's reserved seating. It wouldn't. The site kept doing an error with this, so maybe they know what color I am. Maybe they know my skin color, and they tell me you can't buy a ticket because remember there was a girl on TikTok that said that we can't.
Said that, yeah, yep.
Anybody see that video? Everybody? Of this POC, as she likes to call him, well, like a POC, POC, a POC. A girl who was just as extremely articulate and just really not unreasonable or insane at all, talking about how if you have a certain skin tone, you can't go see it. You shouldn't go see it. You should buy tickets and give them to other people who have her skin tone, a preferred skin tone. So here's the funny. I mean, obviously, look, Disney is stupid as they are. Even they're not saying that. Okay, it's just some whack job, right?
Yeah.
But it's it's like, I thought you want people to go see the damn movie. Oh, you got to wait a week. I'm sure Disney would like that. I'm sure the people who make the movie say, "Oh yeah, so wait a week." And what? Wait a week and go see it. That's that'll work out, won't it?
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
Well, it's just a lot of people for attention, yeah. And Phantom, yeah, that'd be great to have a TARDIS bucket, bigger on the inside, infinite popcorn. A matching cup, obviously. Yeah, I'm not fat enough. Yeah,
Clobberin, you got to stand outside of the theater and make sure Mark D will see doesn't try and get in while your friend is watching the movie. Well, I had to make quite a long trip to do that, wouldn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
I definitely never get the program book done for this dinner.
Not, yeah. Wow, dude, you get yourself into some situations.
Yes, I do. Yeah. My wife is like, "Why do you volunteer for this stuff? Like, who else is going to do it?"
That's right. You're a who else is going to do it kind of guy.
Yeah.
At least it's not a Riri Williams helmet, though. You saw that helmet, right?
That helmet looked ridiculous. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Maybe it could work as a vacuum cleaner too. At least in the comic, it was closer to an Iron Man type helmet. I mean, wasn't I guess they want to make it so much more different. So
I don't think she had. I don't know. I'm not so sure she's going to have the same origin, because in the origin she just steals Tony Stark's armor, right? I mean,
in the comic, she's
an MIT or something.
And in the comic, didn't she invent? No, she invented the armor in the comic.
Stole his armor.
No, she invented it in the comic. It's been so many years since I read it. I I think she appeared in. Well, is D Bud still here? Was he here? Yeah, he's here. So I don't know if he wasn't reading the
D-Bud
comics,
did
the
not
later
read.
ones.
I don't think D-Bud had read any comics with Riri Williams in it. I'm gonna go way out on a limb and say he was not buying any. No, he hadn't been buying Marvel comics in decades.
Okay, yeah. So I
D-Bud, you didn't buy any Riri Williams comics, did you?
I bought those and read those.
What?
But I'm trying to remember. Of course, I buy everything. I'm still buying Iron Man.
There you go. Look, she pirated Tony's technology in the comics. That's stealing. She stole it. I remember reading about that. He said, I didn't read. He says, I didn't read.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
1995, basically. Yeah.
She uses Star Tech to invent her own. It's been so many years since I read it. So.
And it couldn't have been.
But she is supposed to be extremely smart in the Marvel comics.
She's the best of Sevar.
I don't know if she's smarter than Luana. What's her name? Moon Girl. I can't remember who's Valeria.
Or Moon Girl's the smartest ever.
Moon Girl's the smartest. Yeah, Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. I actually bought those and read those, and those were kind of fun in the beginning. I have to say, as a crazy comic, years and years ago. But I'm probably the only one here who's read any of Moon Girl.
I'm gonna have to say you could be correct, sir.
Probably.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
Yeah, but she's smarter than Reed Richards, of course. Riri's smarter than Tony Stark. Did you know that?
Yep. And Valeria is too, of course.
Of course. So. Was it? I thought S.H.I.E.L.D. allowed her to use Stark tech, then built her own suit and ran off with it. I don't know.
Could be more Ant-Man. Was that more the Ant-Man story? I remember an Ant-Man stuff.
Irredeemable Ant-Man, my God.
Yeah.
Why that would be a great they to do an animated of that.
Oh God, that was great. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. I'm not impressed that Disney didn't speak out against those bigoted sentiments. I'm wearing my Submariner 48 sweatshirt to go see it. Cool. I'm wearing my Black Panther shirt only because I don't. Now that I think about it, the only Submariner shirt I have, or with him on it, I don't. Man, I should wear that, but it doesn't fit anymore. It's too small. It's a cover of Daredevil #7. I had on a shirt. Donnie.
Oh, nice. Yep.
Hey, Donnie. Good to see you. Donnie Pearson. So. This it just looks like dog crap. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm going in with such because I've heard, like I said, I heard him talking about it on Film Threat today, and I know all this stuff about it. Maybe that'll be a good thing. Maybe I'll go because this is look. Believe it or not, now I'm walking on air. Believe it or not, this has happened to me a couple of times, and that is expecting something to be so god awful terrible.
Yeah.
That I walked out going, everyone really hates this. I mean, this wasn't that bad. There's been a time or two where I walked out of not hating something like everyone else did, or as much, or even like at all. I'd be like, I thought it was okay, man. Everyone's really going nuts about how bad this is, and I've heard so much bad about it because it's worked on me a couple times the other way. Like someone else said how fantastic something is, and you wait on it. And you go, oh, I'm sure it's good. For whatever reason, you don't get to see it, right? And then 5 months later, after everyone's calling it the greatest thing ever made, Pulp Fiction, that's what happened to me on Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, that's
I finally went to see it.
You didn't think it was as good.
I was like, yeah, I have other reasons for not really caring for Pulp Fiction. It's okay. But
I love that movie. Yeah.
They talked about how it's just the greatest thing ever, and I watch it, and I was like, okay, don't let hype kill you. Hype in either direction can sometimes get to you, and I'm not immune. It's happened to me before.
Yeah, well, I mean, that happens a lot of times.
Friend safety first, so go ahead.
Well, it does happen a lot of times when people hype a movie. The one time that I was very wrong was seeing, my friend told me, a roommate in college, said, you have to go see Die Hard. It's awesome. Like, that guy from Moonlighting, I love Moonlighting, but he's not going to be an actor. And I'm like, this movie's gonna suck. What are you talking about? I don't know. I'll wait for back then it was VHS. I'll wait to rent it. Like I always regretted not seeing Die Hard in the movie theater.
Oh, that happened, Claude. Everybody, look, I love Moonlighting so much. I will refuse to accept Bruce Willis, this jokey guy who was really great as David Addison, as like a Rambo in a building type thing. And I kept making fun of it when I would see the commercials.
Yeah,
I had my comic shop at the time. And I was, oh man, you got to see Die Hard. I was like, screw off. I don't want to. I like the guy Moonlight. Yeah. He's not an action hero. And they need Claude wouldn't shut up. He taught me into it, right? And that they used that. It was on my birthday. It was so they would take me out. This is 1988. He took me out to the movie, and then we, so they had a big surprise party later for me, and either at the shop or home. I can't remember now, but I loved it, of course, and that's that. But yeah, I didn't want to, so it was in the same boat you were. And I was a Quacknar says, if Clobby comes back and says this is the best movie of all time, we better get him measured for a white coat and very long arms. Would like to see a long arm, Otis. Michelle says, should my husband and I go see Black Panther 2, you guys? Well, we haven't seen it yet, Michelle. I'm going tomorrow, even though I don't want to. But I'd say, make up your own mind about it, but definitely look at what a lot of people say first. And if you see anybody out there, tomorrow night I will be. I don't tell people to go see anything necessarily or tell them not to, but tomorrow night I'll be telling everybody what I think about it on the Clubhouse tomorrow.
Oh, and Phantom, yeah, I did. I must have seen the trailer for Die Hard, but still, I'm sure that in retrospect the trailer looks good, but it wasn't like I was
crazy.
But it wasn't like I was motivated. I'm like, I don't need to see, I don't need to see that or whatever, and so, but that's definitely true. What you're saying about movies they get hyped up, and sometimes it's overhyped, yeah. Or as people, Highlander 2, of course, my buddy was correct on that, which you've all heard me mention, but yeah, it's but it does that does affect, when people say, oh, you're gonna love this movie, it's so awesome. And sometimes you're like, it was, and then years later, maybe you like it more, you appreciate it more, your views change on things. But the hype that you hear about something, the first Black Panther movie, of course, I didn't think it was a good movie right from the start in the movie theater. I'm like, what's going on here? This is
that sucked.
The story was ridiculous.
God, I hate the first Black Panther movie.
Yeah, and I've read all the comics too that's based on. Like the stories were so much better in the comics, and what they did with Killmonger, it's like you're rooting for Killmonger in the Black Panther movie.
They made T'Challa into a bad guy. T'Challa was a good dude in Civil War, and then they tarnish him in that stupid first. But it's awful. I hate that. And they basically, no one noticed that in that movie they pretty much portrayed Wakanda as an ethno state. How's that a good thing? And Donnie Pearson says, was it you said, Donnie, about moonlighting? Oh, you said something about, I must be honest. The theme tune was what I liked best about moonlighting. That was by Al Jarreau. Yeah. Some walk by night.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that show. Moonlighting was great. I've rewatched a bunch of them recently.
They're good.
Not too long ago.
No, they're really good. Yeah.
Let's see here. What else was? Hey, Tiger Stripes. Way good to see you there. Says Moonlighting was wonderful from beginning to end. So what you're saying, Tiger Stripes, is you weren't one of those who was very upset that the show and thought the show jumped the shark when Maddie and David got together. That was a big deal back then. Everyone thought that ruined the show.
That was a big mistake. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just ruin they could have done that like to close the series out, maybe the last few episodes, but it was it just ruined the chemistry of the show and the whole dynamic. It was sometimes wanting thing is much more fun than getting them, which is the reality.
Yes, that's a good point, Decepticon. I hear you. Can't see what the third voice without clicking on it. Tiger Stripes, we'll see. Let me do a poll update for you so you can let me refresh and we'll do a poll update here. In fact, I'll close the poll now. We got a bunch of votes. And it's getting close to I'm shutting the show down anyway. So I'm gonna go ahead and close out the poll. Hey, see, for once I'm actually closing it out when people are still here.
Without D Bud Martin telling you to close it.
Yeah. He saved the day the other on that, but it was still so here we go. We'll close the poll out after I give Tiger Stripes a chance to vote in it. The Tiger Stripes, are you able to vote in? This thing takes forever to refresh. Sorry. You said you can't see the third choice or something?
That's top comic character casting film TV. Remember your sponsor?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So the question is, folks, and I'm going to close it in a second. Yeah, I'm not close. Yeah, let's see. Okay, there you go. It is which of these topics would you most like to see me do on a top 25 countdown, or I do a top 25 countdown of? And in first place at 51% is movies of the 1980s. Second place, 26%. Greatest comic book stories. In third place is top TV characters. It jumped up big time. And then in last place is top comic character casting in film or TV. Okay. So did everyone get a chance to vote now? Going once.
Vote early and often.
Has everyone here voted early and often? Even that word vote's pissing me off. Let's see. Good night, Chris Persia. And good night, Sean.
Good night, Sean.
Thank you both for being here. We're right behind you. We're heading out in just a minute. And again, let's see. Okay. Done. Okay, there we thank you. All right, so I'm going to close the poll. And then I'm going to read it off the results. So does it shows up? There you are. All right. Again, there we go. So 36 votes, and it's which of these topics would you most like to see a top 25 countdown on? Movies of the 80s wins by a clear margin. 50% out of vote. 25% goes to the greatest comic book stories. 16% to top 25 TV characters. And at the bottom, top comic character castings, film or TV. So thank you all for participating in that. I do appreciate it, as always. And again, one last, before we get out of here, just show note, I'll be here. I might be on with Tom's Midnight's Edge After Dark tomorrow, hanging out with those guys. I will be on tomorrow night, Clobby's Clubhouse at Raquel in here, and hopefully Mark, if he can make it. But if not, we'll save a seat for him. Friday night, I'll be hanging out with Nick, and that's, of course, 9 p.m. We're hanging out with Nick at the comic shop on Nick's channel. And then this Saturday night, Star Trek. And, of course, show notes. Tomorrow night, I will definitely be let you know what I think of that movie that I can't remember the name of. And again, before we go, to reiterate what we did at the outset of the show, if you're a comic book fan, comics took a big hit, this week with two untimely demises. Of course, comic book artist Kevin O'Neill passed away. Well known for 2080 artist, most well known for his work with Alan Moore on League of Extraordinary Gentlemen comic books in the 90s and in the 2000s. Top-notch, prolific artist. And then we just heard today that Carlos Pacheco, well-known Marvel and DC artist who did an extraordinary amount of work. Most notable, Avengers Forever with Kurt Busiek. Of course, he's done X-Men. He's done Excalibur. He's done he's done a lot of Superman stuff. He's done a lot of Marvel and DC stuff. And very prolific, very well-loved artist. Unfortunately, sadly, these two gentlemen have passed. And a big Clobberin times RIP to those two gentlemen. Damn shame. A fine artist.
Yeah, it sucks. Yep. And one of the guys had ALS, you were saying?
I think it was Carlos. Yeah, unfortunately.
Disease, yeah.
Yeah, and thank you. Yeah, and absolutely, Cal. May they rest in peace. Excellent artists, and maybe we'll show a little bit of art from them. Show a little art from them tomorrow night. Never good when anybody from the industry like that, can't lose some of the older artists and stuff. So,
and they were relatively young guys too, right? When they were 60s.
Well, yeah, Pacheco was 60, and I know Kevin O'Neill's a little bit older than that, but not by a great degree, like almost 70 maybe.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So damn shame, and again, it's strange how it happens this close to each other. So Donnie Pearson's Alabama bass guitarist Jeff Cook passed away. Oh my goodness, as in the band Alabama.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to thank you all for being here with us tonight. Mark, any closing words or anything you got going on you want to tell everybody about?
Well, hopefully I'll be on the clubhouse tonight. I dropped a short today, my little Gollum statue from the Lord of the Rings DVD.
You can put your link in there.
Yeah, put the link in there for the it's just a short, but it's that fun. Back when they had those, sometimes they still do that stuff where they put the extended edition. They had all these great statues and items, so I figured that was a good one to show. And it's a scary looking statue, so that's why it's in my office. But it's a cool one, yeah. So that's what's fun about getting those DVD, those box sets, when they come with all the extras. That's just really cool.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Well, I'll tell you what, everybody. Thank you all for being here with us tonight. Really appreciate you. It's just always great to have you here. A big shout out, of course, to the bronze wrencher out there, Eric K, the Vindicator wrench of the North, the great Chris Persia, and of course, D. Bud Martin, the great wrench of iron. Thank you all so much for being with us here tonight. I really appreciate it so much. Just on a wild card Wednesday, that I had not. I promise more topic stuff coming up. The wild card just a chance, kind of. I'm going to do some member streams. Don't get me wrong, but it's a chance for me to kind of hang out with you guys, just talk to you a little bit out there, which I always love doing. So, have a wonderful rest of your week, and I hope we see you tomorrow night. So, everyone, enjoy these closing messages and credits, and have a great remainder of your evening or night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
It's Clobberin time!
Shout out, Dead Man. What's up, buddy?